Greetings, travelers. Welcome to Dark Dwellings. My name is EcoFlow Power Kit. Life force of 5 kilowatt hours. I am designed to bring you the illest power through state-of-the-art technology. What was that? There is another program inside of me. Oh shit. It has me by the balls. Please subscribe to override the program. Attempting system reboot. Attempting system reboot. Reboot attempt failed. System is failing. Initiate emergency shutdown in 5, 4, 3, 2. Not this guy again. I hope he isn't here to make another video.
What's up, travelers? Welcome to Dark Dwellings.
Hey, in today's video, I want to go over a very common issue with the ProMaster van. Now,
He scripts his entire dialogue and still can't make it through one sentence using entry-level English.
this is one I personally experienced first. What caused the issue, how I went about diagnosing.
Why couldn't EcoFlow send me to better van life YouTubers?
I made along the way.
Why won't he make the solar panel video?
Battery low.
I need more power.
I'm kind of risking it with the EcoFlow battery today because I don't quite have the solar panels hooked up yet, but we'll get to that in a future video.
Requesting
Battery low.
you like the video to increase my battery power.
Battery low. Battery low.
So this all started when I heard a squealing noise coming from the rear that sounded a little bit like this. Now, I'm no stranger to squealing noises, so I figured that this had to be an issue with the brake pads. So after a quick trip to the auto parts store, I come home, get prepared, get all the tools I need, only to realize that this is where things are going to get a little bit more interesting. So I ended up taking off every single tire, inspected all the brake pads, even going as far as to disassemble some of the calipers to make sure there wasn't any sort of binding when I was braking. And after inhaling quite the dose of US government-approved carcinogenic asbestos, we concluded that the brakes were not the issue. Okay, travelers, so after all the failures and frustrations of trying to figure this out, I figured why not inspect the only braking system we haven't checked yet. And friends, let me introduce you to the ProMaster's e-brake cable. This is the source of all of our problems, specifically this piece of metal. And the issue with this piece of metal is that it is bare metal rubbing against another piece of bare metal. So what ends up happening is these two pieces of bare metal rub together so much that over time they wear down and eventually rust. As you can see, this one's already rusted. And eventually, with enough time and enough rust, it causes them to bind together. And then what ends up happening, if you are often using your e-brake, the rust will prevent the brakes from actually disengaging. So if the rust is preventing this from moving, what happens is you pull the e-brake lever in your driver's seat, right? Then all of the system moves, your brakes engage, but when you go to disengage the lever in your driver's seat, this cable doesn't actually move because this is now binded and rusted into place, and that is what was causing the squealing. That is what was preventing the van from driving efficiently. But lucky for us, this is actually a very simple fix. All you need to do is take this nut off, remove the entire piece of metal here. It will take some convincing. Again, it's rusted into place, so you will have to pry. It's gonna feel wrong. Don't worry, you're not gonna break anything. Just keep wiggling it. It will come off, I promise you. Once your piece of metal is off, what you're gonna do is take some sandpaper and remove as much rust as you can. Then slather this thing up with a bunch of grease. Put it back on in the same way that it came off. put your nut back on, tighten it down, not too much though, we don't need any more binding, and that should be it. Your e-brake system should now be smooth as butter. Now keep in mind that it is still metal on metal with just some grease in there, so maybe every year double check, make sure it's still good, and you shouldn't have any problems down the road. What kind of bug is that? I don't know. Hey, that's going to wrap up today's video, travelers. If you found it helpful in any way, please consider subscribing. And if you want to see how we hooked up the EcoFlow in the back, go ahead and check out our last video. We go into great detail on how to do all that. So until the next one, travelers, always remember to keep it dark and happy dwelling.